Howdy folks, Talturl here, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 40th Anniversary Edition. We're going to continue with some missions today. Today we're going to do the Sitka Approach, which I believe is in Alaska. It is. It's a beautiful summer evening as your approach to Sitka, Alaska with your flight instructor. Bad grammar. My bad grammar, not theirs. After a cross-country flight to Juneau. What's the capital of Alaska? I don't know, Juneau? Enjoy a leisurely VFR approach over some stunning terrain, FSX. So it's a quick 10 nautical mile approach after a long cross-country flight. We're only doing the approach, so here we go.
It's a beautiful summer evening as you approach Sitka, Alaska with your flight instructor after a cross-country flight to Juneau. Enjoy a leisurely VFR approach over some stunning terrain.
Okie dokie, just 277 degrees forever. And whoa, this is really wobbly. That's okay. Alright, what do we got? Whoop. We're about here probably, and we're going straight. So I'm gonna go past.
Okay, that's Sitka straight ahead of us.
Oh, right
now
there.
that we're clear of the mountains, we can start descending toward the runway. Reduce power and let's start down. The wind is blowing from the west, so we'll land on runway 29. We always want to land into the wind.
You wouldn't say. So this must be like one of the easier flights from SFX. Let's just keep our speed up as much as it'll let us while we fly on in here. Take some screenshots with the drone while I can, because remember I don't have control of an aircraft when I have my drone going. That'd be a good one, right? Let's try that one. Cool. See, the aircraft does what it wants. Because my controls for the drone are on my yoke and pedals. So funny when you're up in the air because it feels like you're going so slowly, even though you're not. We all know that, but it still feels like it. But this is definitely a beautiful approach. So let's descend a little more, but not too much. We're coming down about 650 feet per minute, which is good. And can I go back to the drone just for a minute? I want to look around a little bit more with the drone, get a few more screenshots. Look at those mountains back there. Whoop, I didn't mean to go that. Oh, no, come here. There we go. Oh, there we go. Smile. Smile, you two. What's my thing? There it is.
Sitka's behind us now. I know it's a gorgeous afternoon, but
Behind
we're
us?
getting pretty low on fuel. Turn around and head toward the airport.
What? Where are we headed? Papa Alpha Sierra Indigo. Papa Alpha Sierra Indigo. Right here, you got some islands and then it land. You got some islands and then land. What's he talking about? Our fuel is not low. Look at this. We've got half a tank or half the fuel.
Okay, maneuver is necessary to start lining up with the runway. Slow down to 110 knots.
These are so buggy. It's behind. It was never behind us. Unless they meant the city was behind us, but then it said turn around. But the airport's always been right here. Confusing. Whatever. Whatever, 110 knots. We nose up to hit 110 knots. We'll bring throttles back to descend. That's how that works. We don't need to maneuver much to line up with the airport, but I guess if this is one of an earlier missions and we haven't flown much, this would be pretty tricky.
Slow to 65 knots and add the rest of the flaps as we slow down. Let's maintain 65 knots on final.
We don't have any flaps. We're out of flap range.
Traffic Cessna 6CM on final for runway 29.
It's a little early for full flap, but that's what he wanted. Did he say 65 knots already? I guess we could do 65 knots, but man, that would take a really long time to get there. Flap 2. You can see there. And it'll make us float. Yep. Yeah, we have a Vastly for this one. We're all white, so we're too high. Just wanted to avoid this that we can't quite see. Yeah, that right there coming in. Actually, there's more under us. I didn't want to hit it, so that's where we're a little high. But we're about to clear it. See that? And full flap. Stay at 65 knots, so we'll nose down for that speed and throttle so we don't descend. Nice, slow, and easy. I think we're going to combine this with another mission because after I edit this down, it's going to be a 5-minute video or less. So I think we'll combine this with another one here. I think we'll cross the channel perhaps. But first let's finish this one. And here we go, 65 knots. Coming down, bring back throttle a little bit more because we're a little high, but that's okay. We've done this a million times, but I get nervous every time. You never know what's going to happen because, you know, these missions keep you honest, so it makes me super nervous. Even though I know what I'm doing. We're even centered this time. There you go, throttle's back, like ground effects. Well, we were centered. Ground effects is going to carry us forever. Gentle. Look at that. Crease that one, nose wheel down gently. Flaps coming up, get back centered again on those brakes. Thanks. And that should be it, I think, for that one. And there we go. Alrighty, let's do another one because, well, this is going to be literally a 5-minute video. Let's do one more in the same video. Here we go. Alright, so let's do the flying blind across the channel. This will be fun. It's not every day you have a friend ask you to join her on a flight across the English Channel in her Cessna 172, so you jumped at the opportunity. Much to your surprise, she's letting you be the pilot in command. It's a short flight, and you'll fly via IFR just to keep things interesting. The mission begins with you lined up on runway 21 at Lydd Airport on the coast east of London. You've been cleared direct to Paris Plage Airport in Le Touquet, France, as filed. Your friend will give you tips, but this is your flight. You'll fly the airplane and handle the radios using ATC. Your planned route takes you direct from Lydd Airport to Paris Plage Airport at 5,000 feet. Follow the ATC's instructions as they vector you for the ILS approach to runway 13. Here we go.
Hey, before we take off, let me tell you what to expect. Once we're in the air, the tower will hand us off to Manston departure, and then they'll start vectoring us east toward France.
Oh, that's it? I was expecting a lot more than that.
Flight
Okay.
across the channel should be pretty uneventful. Just follow the headings and altitudes each air traffic controller gives us, and contact each new controller as we get handed off. Once we reach the French side of the channel, we'll be vectored onto the ILS at Le Touquet.
Alright, vectored onto the ILS. But do we have the ILS
Keep
in
quiet
here?
until things settle down over the channel. When you're ready, request takeoff clearance from the tower, and off we go.
Alright, Le Fat. We're going to Le Fat. And what other frequencies here? ILS 110.15, right? 110.15. And it's 132 degrees, so we need to put 110.15 in here. So let's, how do we do this? I don't even know how to do this, to be honest. We go like this. Yeah. 110.15, and then you push it. No, you push it. There. Which one's active though? That's active or that's active? I don't know. It has to be that one because you're never going to change the active one. That would be dumb to change your active frequency. But let's do both the same. In fact, let's just go really crazy and do them all 110.15. Actually, I can probably do this while ATC is yakking at us. So let's get, let's turn that off, right? 110.15 obsessively check, 132 degrees, 110.15, 110.15. Let's get ATC going, and then we'll mess with that. Tune tower. It says taxi, even though we're already on there. Let's say to the south.
Ground Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 request taxi for south departure with Kilo.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 taxi to and hold short of runway 21 via taxiway Charlie Alpha. Contact tower on 119er decimal tree 8 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 21 using taxiway Charlie Alpha Turtle Soup Tango 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 41.
And we're already there, so
Tower
let's take
Turtle
off
Soup Tango
clearance.
Tango Tango 41 at runway 21 ready for departure IFR to Le Touquet.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 altimeter 29er decimal 9er 21 129er at 5. Cleared for takeoff runway 21.
Cleared for takeoff runway 21 Turtle Soup Tango 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 41.
Here we go, parking brake off, full steam ahead, Captain. Parking brake is on now. Now it's off. I guess it said La Quette, but it's actually La Que or La Que, something I would imagine. Gotta like the pronunciation. Here we go. Having a hard time staying straight, even though it's only like a 2-knot wind, but a 3-knot wind, but it is a crosswind, so that will make it difficult. And pop up. Here we go. I said pop up. Thank you. Brakes to stop the wheels. Gears fixed, obviously. And release, relax those rudders a little bit. And flaps coming in. And eventually we'll go to 5,000 feet. I don't think it gave us a climb out because we didn't do the whole, like, whatchamacallit. Let's start the timer. The whole, what am I trying to say? Flight plan thing that you do before you start your airplane. Alrighty, we're going to climb 1,000 feet per minute. Now let's do not quite that. Okie dokie, we're supposed to be 209 here. Let's get to the right a little bit.
Going to 118.475 Turtle Soup Tango, Tango Tango 41. London Center, Turtle Soup Tango, Tango Tango 41, 900 feet.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 London Center altimeter 29.9, 2 continue as planned. Turtle Soup Tango 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 41, you are tree 7 miles northwest. Climb and maintain 2,000 feet. Keep speed not above 200 knots. Expect ILS runway 1 tree approach via Almov transition. Cleared to Almov.
Climb and maintain 2,000 feet. Keep speed not above 200 knots. Expect ILS runway 1 tree approach via Almov transition. Cleared to Almov Turtle Soup Tango 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 41.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41, your transponder appears inoperative or malfunctioning. Reset squawk 1200. Turtle Soup Tango 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 41, climb and maintain 5,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 5,000 feet. Turtle Soup Tango 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 41.
Okay, so set a minute and 11, and then we turn minute 11, and then we turn to 131. I guess that means we're going to turn to 131 now until they vector us in. So let's go 131 for 18 minutes. I guess 17:45. There we go. Timer's going. We'll do 131. Right. Let me obsessively check. 130. Whoa, 131. So let's go here. Climb 5,000 feet. We got to stay below 200 knots. I don't think that's going to be very difficult. We could use autopilot if we wanted to, but what fun is that? Whoops. 131, please. There we go. 131. Stay on the bug. 17 minutes or so. Climb to 5,000 feet. And this is not north up, is it? Drives me crazy when it's not north up, but whatever. Keep an eye on what you're doing. Here we go. We could fly the whole thing like this if you wanted to. 5,000 feet. 131 degrees. That's not very fun. Once we get stable, though, I will give you some nice views outside of the rain. Can't only do with this view right now, which is the silly HUD, but whatever. I have a feeling we shouldn't have turned yet, but the timer was already past the time, 111, so I don't know. What are the map options? Can we do... I want to do north up. How do you... I guess you don't have a choice on this one. Alrighty, well. Across the channel we go. It's pretty windy. Coming up on 5,000 feet soon. There's Le Flat in there. There's Le Flach. But I don't see Le Flat. Le Fat.
Well, here we are over the English Channel. You know, when Louis Blériot first flew across the channel in 1909, he didn't even have a compass. He got 1,000 pounds prize money from the London Daily Mail for making the trip. It's a lot easier in a Cessna, so all you're gonna get is lunch.
Yeah, but I get to spend time with you. That sounds like Jess. Jess and I go way back. Don't we, Jess? It looks like we're stalling and falling down, but we're not. It's just the clouds, which is why you always gotta look at your gauges. It feels like we're sinking and tipping backwards, but we're not. Alrighty, coming up on 5 grand. In just a moment here, we'll trim, and then we'll be able to coast free until he vectors into le fat. So here we go. It's been 3 minutes. Expect almost 18 minutes. Right. Oh, this is pretty, but not as pretty as you. That's what I always say to my wife when we're going places. I was actually on a date with a gal 20 years ago now, and she said that she had a blind date. Whoops, we're way off course. Had a blind date. And she was teasing him because she's like, she kept saying how pretty things were, and he kept saying, not as pretty as you every time. And then I made a comment saying, well, that's the kind of thing I would say. And then she glared at me. But that's okay, because now my wife gets to hear it all the time, and she does not mind. So whoever that other person was I was on a date with, eat your heart out, or whatever that expression is. Alright, we're above altitude because look at these clouds. It looks like we're gonna crash. Oh gosh, that's so difficult to get level here and stabilize when you've got clouds screwing you up. So let's look at it like this. 131 degrees, I believe it said. 5,000 feet. Let's get it trimmed out nicely so we can spend some time outside. I guess I could use autopilot. Let's do flight director. Let's actually do heading bug, and we'll do altitude of 5,000 feet exactly. We'll do altitude, and we'll do vertical speed, nose down, a few hundred feet per minute, and engage. There we go. We're gonna crank back on to 131, get us down to 5,000 feet. I wasn't gonna do autopilot, but you know what? I want to look outside, so we're using autopilot because I want to. So I think we're good for a while. We got quite a ways to go before she complains at us. Let's get our engines out of the red just so we don't get yelled at here. And there's the flat right there, just where it's supposed to be. Okie dokie. I will, well, it's straight in too because it would be runway 13, I think. Look at that. Bam, bam, bam. Alright, enjoy the views. I'll be back in a little bit unless Jess has something to say. And we're not going to exceed 200 knots, don't worry. Well, what do you know? We're already picking up the localizer and the glide slope, so let's make adjustments here since we know how to do this. And then as soon as that glide slope gets down here, we'll hit approach on the autopilot. We'll let autopilot take us in a little bit, and then we'll hand fire the rest of the way. So let's just stop this here. We don't even need that anymore. And quite simple, very simple how that works. So we're gonna let this move on over. We'll stay lined up, and then we know we're coming in. Oh, what? 2,000 feet. That's crazy.
Descend and maintain 2,000 feet. Turtle Soup Tango, Tango, Tango 41.
I suppose we should stay below 200 knots, right? As long as you don't stress the aircraft. But this is my kind of flying, GA flying. It's so perfect. So when we get this across here, we'll move to 132. And then, like I said, once that glide slope comes into play, then we will hit approach on the autopilot, which was coming into play already, but they're moving us down. So let's just stay out of the yellow. Okay, let's move this to 132 now. I should have done it much sooner, but I was looking at all the other stuff. So we're going to have to go a little bit beyond it now, but that'll be okay. And back to 132 we go. There we go. Alrighty, cool. We're all lined up. And like I said, once this gets closer, we will hit approach on the autopilot, which, whoops, on blah, 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 which here is right there. And then bring us down. This airplane will land itself if you don't disengage.
Litica is using runway 19, and we're being vectored to intercept the ILS. Once we're cleared for the approach, remember to maintain our last assigned altitude until we're established on the localizer. Once we intercept the glide slope, reduce power a bit and follow the ILS down to the runway.
Did she say 19? If so, that's a mistake in the voice acting there, just because it's supposed to be 13. And would this have appeared if I had not, oops, we're getting blown around, look at, if I had not set this myself? Maybe, I don't know, I just know how to do it, so I was proactive and took care of it. But we're getting blown to the left.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 for 1 contact Paris Center on 126 decimal.
That's why we have to compensate by going to the right, even though the wind is coming from the left. So we should get blown to the right. That doesn't make sense, but whatever.
126.475 for Turtle Soup Tango 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 41. Paris Center, Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 is passing 3,100 feet, descending 2,000 feet.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 for 1 Paris Center
There's the
altimeter
ocean.
29er decimal 9er to continue as planned.
29er.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41, you are 14 miles northwest of Latuquit. Contact Latuquit Tower on 118 decimal for 5 when inbound.
Tower on 118.45 Turtle Soup Tango 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 41.
Making adjustments on my heading to stay on track.
Latuquit Tower Turtle Soup Tango 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 411 miles northwest inbound ILS runway 1 tree approach.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 for 1 Latuquit Tower. Altimeter 29er decimal 9er 2 wind 129er at 5. Cleared ILS runway 1 tree approach.
Cleared ILS runway 1 tree approach Turtle Soup Tango 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 41.
Whoa. Alrighty, we'll get the glide slope soon because we're hitting our alt. We're gonna level off at 2 grand, and then we'll look at that, and then we will let this thing go down. So what I was saying is this will in the sim land itself, but it smashes you into the ground at 500 feet per minute, so that's not really landing itself. It's just autopilot not stopping and not giving up. So you don't want to use autopilot to land these planes in the sim, even though it will. But technically there's not an auto land feature in this aircraft. It's just smack into the ground feature. Anywho, we'll get flaps out later, gears fixed, obviously that's ready now, landing lights are already on. And we're at 2,000 until the glide slope intercepts with us. We're going to be lined up here. Then we'll hit approach in a moment. And glide slope is starting to come down. So we'll hit approach in a moment. Technically, I can't remember if you want to hit approach when you're below it or above it. I think it's below it. I don't know. But most of the time, I think if you hit approach when it's above, it doesn't capture. Maybe it's different airplane. I just don't explain. If it were above, you'd be screwed. So you have to hit approach when you're below. So we'll hit approach like right about now. There you go, glide slope. It's armed. That's why it's in white. It'll turn green once it's captured. There we go. And now we're going to descend. So now it's just managing our speed. This is going to bring us all the way in. Like I said, it will land in air quotes. It's just going to smack you at 500 feet per minute. So you don't really want to let it land itself, but it will. Airport is not in sight, so we definitely will not engage autopilot until minimums. Otherwise, this is the path here. Boom, boom, boom. It's the IFR path, even though we're tiny, we only need this little bit of space, but that is the way a jet would take. So, I'm not going to give us sightseeing views outside because I really have to keep track of what's going on. So,
Turtle Soup
whoop,
Tango Tango
here we
Tango
go.
41 wind 129 at 5. Clear to land runway 1 tree.
Cleared to land runway 1 tree, Turtle Soup Tango, Tango Tango 41.
1 tree, she said. Alrighty, so we have a ways to go yet. Look at us, we're still out over the ocean, but it'll come up quickly, so just got to be careful about our speed and make sure autopilot is doing its job, which it is. And I just enjoy this so much more than the jets. That's why I got the jet missions out of the way right away. We are going to do helicopter missions very soon. In fact, I might do the 2 helicopter missions next. I don't really know how to fly helicopter, but I can fake it well enough to maneuver and land and not crash. So I think that counts enough. Maybe someday I'll really learn how to fly helicopter, but they don't really interest me that much. Anyway, it's getting windy now. Alright. Don't see the runway yet. This is going to be very interesting. Final look outside the aircraft, just while we have a brief second here before we land. I just love this flight so much. I remember this from FSX. And that was back when I never used autopilot. I refused to use autopilot back then. So I got really good at shooting an ILS by hand. But now I've done it enough that I don't have anything to prove to anybody. And I just... 500. Ooh, there's a runway. There we go. Let's disengage autopilot. Where's the button? There we go. Anyway, I don't have anything to prove to anybody, so I just use the tools that are available to me. Alright, we're going to do full flap. Actually, that's not the runway. Those are the lights, I should have said. Runway still isn't in sight. Now it is, just as I say it. First set of flaps. I love it. Fog all the way down to the runway. Second set of flaps. Floaty, floaty, McFloaty. And full flap. And I get wind. The wind is an insanity. That's still threshold. You don't want to touch down until we get to the green. I get to the green. Oh my gosh, the wind is insane, but I love it so much. Here we go. Stay centered. Put it between your legs. The ground effects soften us out as we round out till we touch down ever so smoothly. A little bit of crosswind component. There we go. Crab, and down we go. Nose go down gently. Flaps coming in. Roll it out a little bit. We got a little bit off center because I was doing the crosswind part, but it was a great crosswind landing. Exit runway when able. Well, not there. We're not. Had he known we were going to have to exit the runway in this flight, I would have prepared for that, but I didn't know we had to exit the runway, so now we have to go to the next one. Here we go. We got the green light, so we're going to have another taxiway coming up. Let's prepare for this one, though. I am. Here we
Welcome to
go.
France, or as the locals say, bienvenue vers la France. I'm starving. When you're ready, taxi to parking so we can clear customs. Then let's go find a restaurant so I can buy you that lunch I promised.
Okay, they were talking over each other.
121.755 for Turtle Soup, Tango 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 41.
So she wants a
12
restaurant.
quick ground Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 taxi to parking.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 for 1 taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Bravo.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Bravo.
Okay, that was a great way to end. Okay, well that's gonna do it for us. We don't even need to go back to the main menu. Like I said, helicopters coming up next, perhaps. And then I think we have 1 or 2 quickies, meaning 1-leg things, I think, after the helicopters. And then we got the multi-leg missions. And then after that, what's after that? Yeah, we got the multi-leg missions. Then we got the 24-hour, 36-hour flight things, which I'm going to try to do because I think they save. I saved one the other day. So anyway, enough rambling from me. Like, subscribe, and what comes up next. I'll see you then.